Over the next few minutes, we will show you how to create an employee in Sage HR and Payroll, and how to configure users. When you create your account, one employee is created automatically. You can find the employee in Payroll under the Employee tab. If we switch to HR, we can find the same employee under Company. Additional employees can either be added from HR or from Payroll. We will begin by adding an employee in HR. Click Add. Enter the employee's first name and last name. Enter their work email as well as their start date. Indicate whether you would like to send the employee a welcome email. Then click Create Account. You may now enter additional information about the employee, such as the policies they're entitled to, their position, team, and location. Indicate who will be approving time off requests for this employee. In this case, we select administrators. We also select the general public holiday group. Then click Save. If needed, you may enter additional information about the employee using the various tabs available. If you would like to learn more about setting up employees in Sage HR, please refer to the video Adding Employees Manually in Sage HR. At the bottom of this page, you may notice this option, which allows you to give this employee access to payroll. If you would like to add a payroll user, you need to add them as an employee first, then select this option. At the top of the employee settings, you may notice this message, which indicates that additional payroll information is needed to pay this employee. Let's click Add Payroll Information. In Payroll, some of the employee details are automatically populated with the information entered in HR. We can now enter additional information about the employee. The fields needed to pay the employee are marked with an asterisk. For example, the date of birth is required. Let's enter it now. Fields marked with a blue exclamation mark are required for tax submissions. For example, we enter a social insurance number for this employee. Additional information is available in the Personal page, such as the employee's contact information and emergency contact detail. Let's select the Employment tab. The start date entered in HR displays automatically. You may enter additional information, such as the employee number, department, or the language you would like to display the payslip in. Select the employee's province of employment. This is an important field, as the province selected here determines which taxes and tax rates will be used. You may enter an employment code, enter the employee's vacation rate, and indicate whether the vacation should be paid out on every paycheck or if it should be accrued. Let's select the Address tab to enter the employee's address. On the Payments tab, you may enter information on how the employee will be paid. Select a pay frequency, here biweekly, as well as a pay group. Enter the usual number of hours worked per period and per day. Select how you would like to enter the employee's rate and enter the rate. For example, you could select an annual rate and enter the employee's pay for the year. Or you could select an hourly rate. The rate per hour and per pay period is displayed. Indicate how the employee will be paid, in our case, by check. The Tax Details tab allows you to indicate if the employee is exempt from certain tax deductions, if they would like to have an additional amount of tax withdrawn, or if they use a personal tax credit amount that is different from the basic personal amount. Additional options may be available depending on the employee's province of employment. For this employee, we enter a WCB rate. Messages at the bottom of the screen indicate whether the employee is ready for pay runs and for tax submissions. Finally, under payslip values, you can manage the default values that will be used on pay runs. You may add or modify default amounts as necessary. This is convenient to update an employee's default earnings, benefits, or deductions. Let's click Save. You may update an employee's payroll information at any time by clicking the employee. Finally, you may add an employee directly in payroll. To do so, click Add New Employee, fill out the required information, and click Save. The employee is automatically added in HR. Simply click Go to HR Employee List to display the employee in HR. Congratulations! You now know how to create an employee in Sage HR and Payroll.